See what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're talking about Kelli Bryant today. This is a better view. That's a better view. I just gotta learn my ankles. Hey, you all. Hey, everybody. Oh, it's loud out here. Do you know? Happy Friday, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. We're talking about Kelli Bryant today, y'all. I'm not sure if you guys know who this woman is. I should have put a picture of no, we're gonna leave that picture. Y'all, let's talk about the Kelli Bryant case. This has been news for a little bit now, but so let's catch y'all up. Let's catch y'all up on Kelli Bryant. I'm appalled that her bail was reduced. I really am. You know, I'm all for people make mistakes, people have a right, but this lady. So if you guys don't know, Kelli Bryant is a woman, a so-called mother from Pontiac, Michigan. She basically abandoned her children in a home, in an apartment or a condo that she was renting. So she was paying rent. I think she was getting like government assistance to pay for the rent. I think she may have been on Section 8 from what I'm hearing. So she had 4 children total. 1 children didn't have to endure all the neglect and stuff like that. 1 child actually went to go live with their dad. She left 3 of her children. I think she left them at age from like 10, 8 and 7, something like that. But now they're teenagers now, right? They're 15, I think 13 and 12, something like that. They're older. So basically, Kelli Bryant abandoned her children in a condo that she was renting for like 5 years. She literally like left them there to fend for themselves. She would, I guess when she remembered or when she felt like it, she would drop off food, and she would have like food delivery people deliver food to her children. So she basically did the bare minimum, y'all. She did not give them any hygiene products, no cleaning products, no nothing. She gave them food on occasion, and that was it. The home was completely filthy. I've talked about this story before, y'all. The home was completely filthy. I mean, it was feces everywhere. The plumbing wasn't working. The children were not taught to be civilized. She allowed them to live like untrained animals. Like, it was really bad how she had her own biological children living for many years, y'all. So I'm gonna update y'all on her bond. So basically, the original judge who saw her case, her first hearing, was the real MVP. The original judge set her bail for $250. So basically what happened was how she got found out. Hi, Tom Zuri. So she left the children, like I said, unsupervised. No family members checked up on the kids. No one really truly inquired about the kids to the extent that they did a wellness check. So what happened is she was paying her rent on the regular schedule. And then she stopped paying her rent in October of 2024. The landlord, of course, he wanted his money. So he basically, hi, Bradfield. The landlord said he hadn't heard from her since December of 2024, right? So I think in like January or February, he called the authorities, the police, and said, hey, I want you to do a wellness check on the home because I haven't heard from her. And it's almost like the landlord knew what was going down, but they didn't want to be the one to like find it out. So the landlord had the police do a wellness check on the children. And the children were terrified. They were scared to come out. They were hiding. The mother had told them to hide. The mother basically told them that the world is scary, the world is unsafe, and y'all better stay inside. You better not come out. You better just stay inside. And so the children were just in very bad condition, mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. Like I said before, the house was filled with feces. Trash was piled up like 4 feet high. She had 2 daughters. They were like sleeping on pizza boxes. And the son, I think he was sleeping on like an old mattress. They were just living in squalor, okay? They were living the worst situation you can imagine for children. No human contact, no education, but allegedly the children had like phones. They had like phones to communicate with her, but the only person that communicated with her was the boy. The boy was like the go-to for her. And he was the only one that had experienced the outside world for 5 years. I think he went outside to check the mail one time, and I think he went to touch some grass outside one time. So let me read this article, and I'm gonna give y'all my strong opinion about this woman getting her bill reduced. This mom right here, her before picture, you would never think she was living like that because she was on social media with her weave done, her hair done, makeup done, everything did, outfit, dressed up, pretending to be this mother, like a true narcissist, pretending to be this loving mother or pretending to be this good person. And she had her children living like worse than animals, y'all. There are dogs and cats out here living better than the way she was treating her own children, her own blood. So this article is from Oakland County. I mean, this article is from clickondetroit.com. I will link the article in my description of this live, y'all. So it says, Oakland County prosecutor responds to reduced bond for mom accused of abandoning her kids in filthy home. You guys, the birds are really loud. The birds are just having a good time. I am outside, but I decided to have the green screens. You can see the mother who I'm talking about. The so-called mother, okay? All right. Motherhood is hard. I'm going to always say that. Being a parent is hard. But at some point, you got to say, you know what? I can't handle it. I need help. But some people are just having some mental issues that they are not able to. But this woman knew better. She knew better. She was going around life like everything was normal. She had some kind of sense. She had some kind of sense. She knew enough to hide her children from other people. She has some kind of sense. So she does need to face the consequences. So basically, her original bond, y'all, was $250 million. The original judge that saw her, the first hearing she had, they set the bond for $250 million. Because the judge felt like she was a flight risk, and the judge was worried that she would find a way to contact her children and intimidate them into not speaking and threaten them to be like, you better not say nothing and pretend that everything is good. So I support the first judge in the case. So let me read a little thing from y'all. It says the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office issued a response after bond was reduced for the mother accused of abandoning her 3 children, leaving them to live alone for years inside a filthy home, y'all. Kelli Marie Bryant, 34, of Pontiac, is facing 3 counts of first-degree child abuse after police said they found 3 of her children, a 15-year-old boy, a 13-year-old girl, and a 12-year-old girl, living alone in Pontiac, y'all. It says that during the arraignment, Bryant was given a $250 million bond, and on Friday, a judge reduced that bond to $50,000. So in both situations, the bond was cash only bond. So I guess Kelly's defense team is arguing that she's not a flight risk. She's living in Pontiac, Michigan for her whole life. She has no prior criminal history. Let me read all the things, the reason why they feel like her bond should have been reduced, and it was reduced. Hi, Merlos, how are you? ¿Cómo está? I'm probably saying it wrong. ¿Cómo está? So yeah, they're saying that they reduced the bond from $250 million to 50,000 because they said that she turned herself into law enforcement. They said that she has no criminal history. They said there's no record of prior non-appearance or flight to avoid prosecution. I don't care. I don't care what her history is. The history, she may not have anything on the books that shows she's a criminal, but she has been a criminal for 5 years. How she was treating her children, that is criminal behavior, y'all. I am really like appalled that the prosecutors or the judge reduced her bond from $250 million to $50,000. Yes, $250 million is outrageous, right? I get it. I get that. But the mother basically was trying to kill her children. If you really think about it, it's attempted murder. She allowed them to live on the very bare minimum. They could have died like that. They said that when they rescued the children, the girls couldn't barely walk because their toenails were so long. Anything could have happened in that house, y'all. They could have been a fire. Somebody could have broken and hurt them. They could have died from starvation because she really wasn't feeding them that well. They could have died from just inhaling all that, the feces, the smell of the feces. Like, anything could have happened to those children. So I just don't understand, like, why her bond was reduced, y'all. So if she comes up with $5,000, because when you post bond, you only need to come up with 10%. So she only needs to come up with $5,000 to get out. There might be some sick person out there who's like, oh, I feel so sorry for this poor mother. She must be having a hard time for her to do that to her kids, or she meant well. Somebody could really say, you know what, I'm gonna pay her bond. I'm gonna pay the $5,000, and she could be on the streets right now, y'all, walking around. They have put on some conditions to her being released, but it's still not good enough. The children were trapped in prison for 5 years, basically. They were trapped inside. They were not allowed to go outside. So why should she be allowed to be free? I know I'm not the only one outraged with the story, y'all, but it's not right. It's not fair. I'm for sure guaranteed that she's going to find a way to contact the children. She's going to find a way to contact her children and say, you know, y'all, I didn't mean to do that, or I love y'all. Y'all better not say nothing. And you know, if you guys tell them what really happened, I will never see you again, and you're going to be in foster care. And, you know, she's going to probably, like, really try to scare them into not speaking anything negative against her. So they have put in place things that would have kind of, like, allow her to not, like, get in contact with the children. But who knows how much access she could have to the children. So let me read y'all what the stipulations are on her lowered bond if she does get released. If she gets released, this is what they said that she needs to abide by. And I still don't trust it. I still don't think it's good enough. So let me find it. Okay, so they said that if she does post her bond, these are the following conditions for her being released. Okay, Bryant will be on a pretrial services supervision. No alcohol or illicit drug use. No alcohol or illegal drug use. No possession of a weapon. No assaultive conduct of any sort while the case is pending. No contact with any child under the age of 18 years old. Absolutely no contact with the victims in the case, including personal conduct, phone calls, text messages, and reaching out to the parties who have control of the children. Let me read that over because, I already said that. Okay. And a home confinement electronic monitoring device. So basically she would have an ankle monitor on, right? Also, Bryant can only leave the home for medical emergencies, court appearances, court order testing, and employment if it can be verified. It is not verified at this point. Any other travel requires permission from the court. No returning to the address where the children were found by police. No returning to the address of the victims. Any changes of address would have to be provided to the court within 24 hours. I don't care. I don't agree with it. How is this monster of a mother allowed to be possibly free because she has no criminal history? Like, I'm not understanding. The criminal history is her abandoning her children. The criminal history is her neglecting her children. This is child abuse. So it doesn't matter if there's no, like, actual, like, history on the books, locked up clank on the books of her being a criminal, but this is criminal behavior. This woman right here, for 5 years, she was neglecting her children intentionally. Yeah? It's here? Hold on, y'all. We ordered pizza. Not for me, for my children. And I think he's telling me they're there at the door. Give me one moment, y'all. Let me check on something. What is it? Are they here? Are they here? Why did you call me? Okay, false alarm, false alarm. All right, y'all. So what was I saying? Um, y'all, I don't understand these judges. First of all, so like I was trying to say before, Kelli Bryant's defense team is trying to like all be like, oh, you know, she didn't, you know, she has no history, she's blah blah blah, she's gonna be okay, and da da da, and they're claiming that there's no record of her having any mental health issues. Are you serious? Leaving your children to fend for themselves for 5 years is a mental health issue. No normal mother, no normal parent is gonna leave their children abandoned in a house for 5 years, barely feeding them. They're wearing raggedy clothes. Their hair was mad at y'all. Their toenails and stuff was so long they could barely walk. They didn't know how to brush their teeth. Like, these children had to be taught things. Once they were rescued, once they were freed, they had to be taught how to brush their teeth again, how to do basic all the other hygiene things again. It was strange to them. I think that they said that the children didn't even know how to flush a toilet, y'all. The children didn't even know how to flush a toilet because his mom had them messed up. She didn't even like say, you know what, I don't want to do nothing with y'all, but I'm gonna at least show y'all how to keep a book home. I'm gonna come by and clean up. She did nothing of that sort. I heard that she basically would just sit on the curb in the car outside the home where the children are, and no interaction with them. That's not signs of someone who is mentally sound. She clearly has mental health issues. Yeah, she may not have been diagnosed officially, but this is not healthy behavior of a mother. If I would diagnose her, I can't even think. First of all, one of them will be narcissism. I would say that she has narcissistic personality disorder, okay? She had this image that she would go around the community like she was this like good Samaritan type of person. It was one, like, I think Facebook post that she made showing people like free food that they could have came and got. Like, she was like, hey y'all, free food, blah blah blah, come and get the free food. Mind you, her children are fending for themselves, barely having enough food, but she was telling the community to come out and get some free food at some like place that she was at. That's a narcissist right there. She had this face, this image of being this person, when in reality she was like a monster. Her children knew the real her. She had this mask and this face for the public, but in reality she was a monster. So she's definitely, I would say, one of her diagnoses should be narcissistic personality disorder. I don't know what else I would diagnose her with. Like, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose this woman, but she's clearly off, severely off. So maybe some type of depressive disorder. Something is going on with this woman, okay? Her life is not normal. She is not normal. You don't do children like that. She had so many, and it looked like she was just trying to get benefits. From what I heard, she was getting Section 8 benefits, probably some food assistance benefits. Like, I think she she committed fraud for like $30,000 is what I'm hearing. So I really hope that they recoup the money from her. She needs to make sure she pays back every dime. Like, I think she should have to pay her children back, like some type of, I don't know what they can get on her to pay the children back, but she's gonna owe them child support, because I feel like the money that the children should have been benefiting from, I can't talk. The money the children should have been the money the children should have been benefiting from was not being used for them. She was using it to do whatever, barely giving them food, no hygiene products, no clothing, no education. Like, yeah. The state needs to sue her on the children's behalf and recoup some type of compensation for emotional distress. Something. These children will never be the same. They're going to need like a lifetime of mental health services. 5 years was stolen from their life. 5 long years without any type of like normalcy. It was just straight chaotic. I can't even imagine what it was like living in filth, feces, urine, smells, bugs, trash. I can't imagine how they was able to normalize that for 5 years. She really did a number on those children. I mean, she had them shook. And then it all started in the height of COVID. So, you know, during COVID time, everybody was staying indoors. Nobody wanted to get out. There was fear of getting the COVID disease. So she had them with COVID, and she probably just had them with like, just don't leave. She probably threatened to like bodily harm. I cannot wait until they come out with the text messages. I cannot wait until they come out with a text message history exchange between the mother, this so-called mother, and her son, because her son was the main one she was communicating with. I cannot wait until they say, you know what, she was like threatening them, doing all kinds of stuff. This is what she was telling them. I would love to hear the fear tactics she used. So I'm looking forward to the trial. I'm looking forward to all the hearings. I have a feeling she's not going to want to go to trial. I have a feeling that she's going to try to do some type of plea deal where she gets like 20 years in on probation or something like that. I feel like the state is going to try to be lenient on her. It's giving very much leniency, because how y'all start with a $250 million bond and reduce it so drastically to $50,000? She should not have any bond, because I don't care if y'all don't think she's a flight risk. To me, this is attempted murder. She basically was starving her children to death. She was medically neglecting her children. They have seen no doctors for many years. I'm appalled at the prosecutor. I'm appalled at the judge. Like, the justice system is pure trash. It's pure trash. The justice system, from my experience, in my opinion, they protect the abusers. They protect the perpetrators more than they protect the victims. How is this justice to the victims to have her bond only $50,000? So all she needs is $5,000. All she needs is $5,000. She'll be out here chilling, whether she has a ankle monitor on or not. People break monitors all the time. People break their curfews all the time. So all she needs to do is get free one good time, and probably could take action on her children. She might try to take them out so they will not have so they won't, you know what I'm saying, speak up against her. They don't really need the children to speak up against her, because the evidence is there, the filth, the everything. And I'm sure, like I said before, they can pull the text message exchange between the children and the mother of all the things she was saying to them, all the things that went on, all the food deliveries, to see how little food they were getting for all this time. Yeah. The prosecutor, I'm not going to really be mad at the prosecutor, because I feel like the prosecutor, from what I heard in one of the hearings, they were trying to say, hey, she's a threat, she shouldn't be whatever. But I feel like the prosecutor didn't try hard enough. And it's giving very much that I've heard in the comments that maybe the judge is cool with Kelli Bryant's father, because allegedly Kelli Bryant's father is a pastor. Like, he has a prominent role in the community. So for all we know, he wrote a letter to the judge saying, hey, please go easy on my daughter. She didn't mean to do this. Because it's not making sense, y'all. The math is not mathing. How do you go from $250? How do you go from $250 million bond to $50,000? Make it make sense, y'all. It doesn't make any kind of sense. So I'm thinking that the judge is friends with the father, or the judge knows somebody that she knows, because it's not making sense. So I support the first judge. First judge was not playing games. She was like, I am worried that you're going to be trying to contact these children. I am worried. And basically, like, she's a threat to the community. If a so-called mother can do what she did to her own children, what do you think she would do with other people? If she had no regard for her own biological children, starved them, neglected them, abandoned them for 5 years, what do you think she would do? Like, what do you think was really going on up here? What do you think? This is not actions of a mother who loves their children. This is an action of a mother who's lazy, who didn't want to take accountability, responsibility for her own children. She could have easily gave the children to the father of the children. From what I heard, the father of the children tried to get them in 2022 when he was released from prison, and then I think, like, the court, I made like a court order for her to give the children to him to see, to see the visitation and stuff. But the dad basically said that the mom was refusing to allow him to see the children, so he basically gave up. So I'm gonna side-eye the dad, because if you want to see your children, the mother is not letting you see the children, go to court. Why didn't you go back to court, say, hey, judge, I'm trying to see my son, my daughters, and she won't let me. So yeah, I'm gonna give the dad a little bit of credit for trying to get his kids, but I can't give you a lot of credit because you didn't keep trying. How do you go years and years and not understand where your children are? You don't know where they are. And it's shame on the whole entire family. Because I don't care if y'all was asking her questions and she basically gave y'all answers to make y'all think that the children were okay. Y'all should have been doing pop-ups. Somebody other than the landlord. The only person who cared about the children, it seemed like it was the landlord, because the landlord was like, look, where's my money? I'm not getting my rent. So can we do a wellness check on these children? That's the only reason why these children were rescued, because of the landlord. The landlord is like some kind of accountability issues with that landlord too. Because what kind of landlord does not do like annual checks, yearly checks on their property they're building? So from what I read about the landlord actually was in violation of certain things. So the landlord is going to be potentially getting some type of trouble, and I hope the landlord does get in some type of trouble. The landlord needs to face some type of consequences. Yes, it's not the landlord's responsibility to care for the children. It wasn't the landlord's responsibility, but that's your property. If it's your property, you're supposed to be making sure the maintenance is good. You're supposed to be making sure whoever is in the property is like adhering to the law. Like, come on now. There's certain things that should not go down in your property. If you're a good landlord, you're going to make sure that your property is being used for what it's supposed to be used for. So you're part of the child abuse situation. Because if you would have been checking on your property, these children would have been saved a long time ago. How do you not check on your property for years and years and years? Yeah, so a lot of people fail these children. The landlord, the so-called mother, the so-called mother's family, the baby daddies failed the children. Or the baby daddy. I don't know if it's one or two. But I'm not giving grace to nobody. Because if you care about your grandchild, if you care about your niece and nephew, whoever, and you are supposed so-called in good relationship with the mother, why you ain't say, nah, girl, I haven't seen my niece and nephew in a while. Nah, girl, I haven't seen my grandbabies in a while. I'm coming through. I'm popping up. I'm doing a wellness check. If you truly care about children, you would have did something. Anybody in this situation who knows this woman, if you truly cared about these children, you would have did something. You can't just take her word for it. You physically were not seeing the children for years. It's different if like, oh, I saw them on FaceTime sometimes, so I thought it was good. You ain't never see the children. What it picking them to? You didn't ask no questions? Yeah, so I feel like more than the mom needs to be getting in trouble, somebody else need to get in trouble. And I cannot wait till they pull the text messages to see what people were really saying, what they were really inquiring, and what people do. I want to know what people really knew. I have a feeling that someone else knew that the children were living in a bad situation. I mean, the neighbors, like, y'all didn't smell nothing. Allegedly, this one man was on camera talking about like one time I was walking by and the kids was like, nice car, and like randomly they would say stuff. If you see something, say something, y'all. If something doesn't smell right, literally and figuratively, if something don't smell right, something don't look right, it's not right. And I'd rather you be wrong than to let child abuse go on and on. If you suspect that somebody might be being abused, a child, especially a defenseless child, call and say, hey, I'm not sure what's going on. I could be wrong, but can you guys go do a wellness check on this house? What's up with that? What's up with, hey, so my neighbor, I never see the children anymore. Yeah, I never see the mom go in, and it's been smelling funky. Something's going on. Can you guys go do a wellness check for me? Thanks. How simple? That's as simple as it could be. As simple as that. You could be anonymous, y'all. You can do anonymous calls and say, hey, I don't want to be involved with this, but I don't want to make sure the children are good. No one cared about these children for 5 years. You can't say that you're a loving grandmother. You can't say that you're a loving grandfather, loving family member, or whatever, if you ain't check on the kids. Yeah, it's really weird. And from what I heard, like, the mom was, on a regular basis communicating with her father. And you ain't really checking on your kid. How you call yourself a pastor? Y'all don't get me started on the church, okay? Because I got some stories I could tell. Some of these people are just fake and phony. Just trying to line their pockets. But I am just really appalled, and I just cannot believe that this lady's bond was reduced. She could be out at any point. I mean, there are some people who support criminals. There are people out there who support abusers. And I think that's why this lady was allowed to get away with this for so long, because there were people in her corner, people passively and actively supporting her. Somebody knew where she was staying at. Somebody had to know something. How do you one day have children and the next day you don't have them around you no more? I'm sure she had a boyfriend for all those years. Where your man not have any questions? Somebody knew something. Her children was living in filth and funk, and she out here just pretending that her ish don't stink. I know you like to think that your don't stink, but move a little bit closer. Girl, your stuff was smelling like boo-boo. She tried to walk around like her stuff didn't stink, and it was stinking. Her children were stinking, and she was stinking too. And it's all on her. And yeah, I just had to come live, y'all, and talk a little bit about this story that I just can't believe. To this day, I still can't believe that this mother, this so-called mother, y'all, yeah, I just cannot believe it. I'm gonna try to show y'all a picture of what she looked like, all done up with her weave done, and now she looking crazy right now. I'm gonna show y'all how she was pretending to be on social media. I can't do the background photo right now like that, the green screen, because I don't have it already pulled up. Actually, let me show y'all what she was looking like. Let me change this real quick. This is her. Oh no, you can't see it. I can't see it. Hold on, let me put it back. Let me put it back, y'all. Let me find the picture of her. This is her when she got her weave in. This is her when she was arrested. That's her. That's her with her weave in. And I wish I could show y'all her social media stuff too, to see how she was out here just fronting, y'all. Fronting. I can't find anything, but she was a great pretender. She was pretending to be somebody that she's not. I think she took her page down. I don't see it anymore, but she had a Facebook page. I currently don't see it. I think she found a way to get it taken down. Her family found a way to get it taken down. But she was posting on social media like she was hot stuff. Hot stuff. She was out here living like a single woman with no children, posting and doing all kind of stuff, like living this fake life like a true narcissist. She's a psychopath, straight up. Anyway, y'all, I just want to come on and talk about that I am just outraged that this woman could possibly be on the streets, possibly could be in contact with her children, even though they're saying that she's not supposed to be in contact. If she violates anything, she'll go back in prison. But so what? Once she gets out in contact, then the damage is already done. The children are already scarred by this woman. I would be terrified to know that my mom could at any point call me, come see me. The children don't really know, that she's in their life, in their mind, it was normal behavior for all those years. So I hope that at this point in their healing journey, that the children understand that what was going on with their mother, what was going on with their living condition was not normal, not natural, not actions of a loving mother. I really hope that they know better. I mean, it's possible these children have some type of learning disability or some type of disability, because they were like really in fear, severely, of asking for help, for escaping. She really had them living in fear. But again, she abandoned them when they were very young, so they weren't going to school. They weren't being educated to know what's right from wrong. They weren't being educated to know what's healthy, what's not healthy. So they basically were just, suffering from Stockholm syndrome, But I hope that whatever counselor, whatever psychologist is working with them is really like getting them the help they need to understand what's normal, what's not normal, what's good, what's bad, because they thought this was a life. Like, from what I heard, when they came outside from being rescued, it was just like they couldn't believe it. They were not looking like regular kids should be. Like, it was just like, what's going on here, y'all. Yeah, I wish the best for the children. I hope that one day when they become adults, that they will come out and share their story about what life was really like for them. and speak against their mother. Like, it makes me sad when people know that their mom is abusive, know their mom is a monster, and speak up for their mom. Like, well, I still like my mom, and she did the best she could. It makes me sad, but that's their choice. I can't force people to see that their mom is a monster or to see that their parent is a monster. You love who you love. You know, some people truly are not in a healing stage for them to see people for who they really are. They want to see the good in people. And just because somebody is your blood doesn't mean that they're truly family to you. They're really relative. She was treating her children worse than strangers. Because she was treating strangers, actually, I mean, better than her children. Like a narcissist. Narcissists tend to treat strangers better than their own children. Narcissists like to wear a mask. So if I'm gonna diagnose this lady, like I said before, I would definitely diagnose her with narcissistic personality disorder and some type of depressive disorder. Something was going on with this woman. Not normal, but I don't care what she was going through. She still needs to be punished. She still needs to remain in jail until she's prosecuted with first-degree child abuse and every other charge they can find. And they need to tackle on all the charges they can tackle onto her. Kidnapping, to me, technically is kidnapping because you took them from a normal life and trapped them in the home. I think kidnapping should be a charge on there too. First-degree child abuse, kidnapping, or anything. If I was a prosecutor, I'll be going hard in the paint. She needs to be made an example of. I don't care. It's not fair for her to mess up her children's lives, to ruin their childhood because of what? Because of what? She had resources out there in the community. She had the pastor of her father. She had family. She had resources at her fingertips. There's no excuses. She wasn't like abandoned in some wilderness somewhere. She had options. So I don't think they should have any leniency on her. For the sake of her children, she needs to remain in jail and then be prosecuted and remain in prison. I honestly feel like this kind of behavior warrants for life in prison. I don't care what nobody says. I feel like her punishment should be life in prison without the possibility of parole. I don't care. This is attempted murder in my opinion. She was slowly killing the children. You know, who knows what kind of inappropriate, on top of the abuse, who knows what other inappropriate behaviors the children may have been engaging with in there, and they thought it was normal. Who knows if they were doing any kind of sexual inappropriate stuff going on with each other. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you don't know what the children resorted to because their mind was messed up. They tried to normalize this kind of behavior. Just who knows what else went down in that home for all those years. They had no parent. They had no adult to tell them right from wrong, to say, hey, this is normal, this is bad, this is good. They were just doing whatever. They didn't know any better. And so for that, this woman needs to be held in prison for the rest of her life. She has no business belonging in a free world. And I hope her children do have any mercy on her. I don't care that's your mom. Some mothers don't have a nurturing bone in their body. Some women never wanted to be children. Some women only wanted children because of the man. Or some women, she is a prime example of just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because she could have got pregnant doesn't mean she should have. She did not love her children. She tolerated them. She used them for the benefits. And she wanted nothing to do with them. She clearly showed you she wanted nothing to do with her children. She had no physical contact with her children for 5 years. She let them starve almost to death. That's not someone who should be free. Yeah, more people need to be writing letters to the judge and the prosecutor, all that, because this is a disgrace. And victims do not get the justice that they deserve. Victims suffering, the abusers get so much leniency and like, oh, you gotta understand mental health, mental health, mental health. What about the mental health of the children who were suffering for all those years? That's the only mental health we should care about. I don't care about her mental health. Clearly her mental health was shot. Her mental health was in the floor, trash, and that's why she did what she did. I don't care about her mental health. When it comes to your children, you need to prioritize them first. You come second when you have children, period. And she was putting herself first, and that's why we need to put her last and keep her in jail. But y'all, my rant is over, whatever. If you guys agree with me, I hope you do. If you don't, it's understandable. We can agree to disagree, but I strongly believe that this woman does not belong in the free world. Okay? All right, y'all. So I'm going to end my poll and I'm going to come off live. Thanks to anyone who came in, y'all. I was basically just talking to myself the whole time. But it's okay, y'all. I'm a talker. So I said, do you know who Kelli Bryant is? 67% of you said yes. and 33% of you said no. If you guys are watching the playback, please leave comments. Leave comments. Let me know what you thought about this live. Let me know what you thought about this video. Leave your opinion. Do you agree with me or disagree with me? It's okay to disagree. I don't care. You're gonna have your opinion. You have a different lifestyle. You were raised differently from me. You have different kind of education. We are different people from all different kind of parts of the world. We're not gonna all think alike, and that's okay. That's okay. This is my opinion on this story, and I have a right to my opinion. You know, somebody out there feels sorry for this woman for whatever reason. They have a bleeding heart. But I am a very compassionate, empathetic person. But when it comes to children, I don't play that. When it comes to children's health and safety and wellness, I don't play that. As a survivor of childhood trauma, I go hard in the pain for children because I know what it's like to be a child and to be neglected and disregarded. I know what it's like to be raised by a narcissist. I was not raised to the extreme as how this lady did her children, but abuse is abuse. Abuse is abuse. Whether you were neglected sexually, mentally, physically, whatever, abuse is abuse, and it completely changes your brain how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be surviving your childhood. You're supposed to be thriving and living a good life. So a lot of us, some of us who were victims of child abuse, we end up surviving our childhood and trying to survive in adulthood, trying our best to thrive. Okay, it's not supposed to be like that. Children are supposed to be in loving, healthy household by functional, loving, healthy adults, and some people aren't. And I'm not going to give any grace to adults who knew better. You know, this woman she's not mentally delayed in that way where she didn't know. She knew what she was doing was wrong. She took steps to hide her behavior. That's not signs of someone who didn't know any better. All right, y'all, but I am going to come off live now. But I really appreciate any of you who came into the live stream. I'm going to try to go live tomorrow, and I'm going to be talking about some other topics. Okay? Appreciate all of your support, y'all. I really, really do appreciate it. If you're in this live right now, please like this live. Support your girl. Okay? Support. But y'all, this picture is horrifying. It's horrifying. This is who she was really hiding. This is who she really is under the wig, the weave, and everything. And that's why it's social media. I don't believe what I see. You cannot believe everything you see on social media. There's some people out there who got their hair did, nails did, everything did, looking like fly, and they're living like something out of a horror movie. This so-called mother, this so-called woman had her children in a real life horror movie. They might make a documentary about this one day. They might make a movie based about these children one day. And I think they should, to educate people, to show people what really happens. This is not a movie. This happened in recent times. From 2020 or 2021 to 2025, these children were living in a real life horror movie. And it wasn't right. It was not okay. And my heart goes out to them. I really hope that they are able to bounce back and to be resilient, you know, under these circumstances. I can only imagine. These children are old, and I really don't even think that the children should be with their so-called blood relatives, so-called family, because these are the same family who didn't check up on them. These are the same family that didn't do wellness check on them. So how is it okay for these children who were abused by their mother to be put in the same family? They're related to this woman right here. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like these children should be put in a neutral household, should put in a safe household, to be put with people who are not related to this woman at all. Who have no, to me, it's conflict of interest. Because how y'all know that they don't think just like her, that they're not abusive just like her, you know? And if they're not abusive, great, but I feel like it should be on a trial basis. I feel like originally they should have put them in a neutral, foster, loving situation. Because, you know, some foster situations are not loving and healthy. They should have did that and do a test run with the biological family. Because, you know, more investigation should have been done, more background should have been done. Y'all, the way the social services child welfare is done, I don't agree with a lot of it. It's really sick and sad that some children are removed from abusive households to be placed in potentially other abusive households. Because we've heard plenty of stories of children being abused by their biological parent, being placed with family, they're abused by the family, or the family allows the abuser, who's not supposed to be around them, to be around them and gets abused them. That was the fear of the original judge who put the bond for $250 million, right? And then you hear some foster families who abuse children. It's just, children can't win, y'all. And that's why I get so angry when it comes to children cases, because children are like, there's no one speaking for them. People think that they own children. People feel like children are just property, when children are just little adults. You know, not little adults, but they're little humans trying to grow into adults. Treat them like you would treat your boss, your coworker, your friend. Stop treating children like they're beneath you and they should have an opinion. They're going to be big one day, and they're going to speak up. They're going to talk one day, okay? And they're going to tell the truth about who you really are as a person, as a parent. And you're not going to like it. But all right, y'all, again, I am going to come off. I really wish I was engaging in the chat, but it's okay. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow, y'all. But thank you to anyone who is in right now. Please like the live, and if you're watching the playback, I appreciate your support. If you came into the live stream in the beginning, the middle, or the end, I appreciate it so much. You guys, I really appreciate your support on my channel. I appreciate all my subscribers, my new ones who are really into domestic violence situations. Traditionally, people consider domestic violence when a man is beating a woman, blah blah blah, like that, but children are also domestic violence survivors and victims every day. These children were victims of domestic violence, okay? Just because they weren't physically being hit doesn't mean they weren't being abused. That's domestic violence, okay, to the highest degree. But yeah, a lot of you who are subscribed to my channel based on the Jenna Lee story that I did. I'm going to try to find an update on about Jenna Lee to see how she's doing now, and I'll try my best to do an update on Jenna Lee. I did a short like a year or two ago of a domestic violence survivor, Jenna Lee, who was abused by her children's father at the time, or her, you know, her ex or baby daddy. And I would like to look up and see what's new with Jenna, what's new with him, to see if he's out, if he was punished to, you know, the degree that he deserved. I'm going to definitely try to find some updates, because I know a lot of you subscribe, you know, relating to her story, feeling for her story. He really abused her. So this is off topic. It's not about this story, but I'm going to try to do an update for y'all, for those of you who are new to my channel and really enjoy the Jenna Lee short that I did. Even though I didn't speak in the short, it was just basically a clip from Jenna Lee speaking, and it has a lot of views. And Jenna Lee was very brave for coming out and sharing her story. You know, she didn't have to say anything. When you're a victim of domestic violence, it's a very scary situation. It could be, you could feel like it's, you know, it's an embarrassing situation, because who wants the world to know that you're being abused? Who wants the world to know that, you know, you're a victim? It's a scary situation. So for anybody who speaks out, child or adult, about abuse that you experience, my hat goes off to you. It's not easy. Don't worry about what victim blamers say, gaslighters say. Like, they're trash. Anybody who blames you for being abused is trash people, okay? There are very trash people living around. Abusers have supporters, unfortunately. It happens, okay? But what happened to you is not right. What the abuser did to you is not right. And don't let anybody try to mess with your mind, okay? You know what's going on. And just get the mental health services that you need. Reach out to your, you know, your insurance, Medicaid, or call 211. Even call or text 988. 988 is a, like, crisis mental health support line. If you're having any suicidal thoughts or you're going through a crisis, call or text the number 988 for support, okay? Oh yeah, and I always forget the domestic violence hotline, y'all. I need to, like, memorize that number. But the domestic violence hotline, I'm gonna get that, because I did mention that. Anytime I mention domestic violence, I always want to mention the hotline, because a lot of people are going through domestic violence right now, and it's a scary life to live. So if you are experiencing any domestic violence in your life, if you know someone who's experiencing it, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7233. That's 800-799-7233. Or text the word BEGIN. That's B as in ball, E as in elephant, G as in girl, I as in ice, N as in Nancy, to 88788. That's text the word BEGIN Text BEGIN to 88788 if you are experiencing domestic violence or you know someone who's experiencing domestic violence. Okay, it's a very scary time. You got to be safe, got to be smart about leaving an abuser, because they will try to take your life, and we want you to live to see another day. All right, y'all. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see y'all very, very, very soon. You'll definitely see me tomorrow. I'm gonna go live tomorrow. Okay. Thank y'all for all your support. You're wonderful. Please like the live before you leave. All right, y'all. See ya.